welcome back. And like Shahzad alluded to before going on to the break, we are going to talk about the poetry and the art forms and how to make sure that, because Shahzad mentioned that we have more than 70 regional or indigenous languages thriving in Pakistan, and how to make sure that we are invested in those particular language. And one of the manifestations through which language is revived or kept alive is through the expression of art, is through expression of the poetry, and how to make sure that we keep talking about it. So we are very glad that we have been joined by someone in the studio who is a very inspirational personality, because he had his own ups and downs in his life, but he made sure that he keep invested in this language, and particularly in the writing and in the expression of the poetry. So we are very glad that we have been joined by a writer who also happens to be a poet. He is Ameen Kunjahi. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much for coming to the show.
Assalam, and it's too much introduction you tell about to the viewers.
But sir, that's exactly what you deserve.
You truly deserve that. But sir, alhamdulillah, you have a collection of 5 books with you. So would you mind explaining to us what you've written in it, and how did you express all of your emotions and feelings into those books?
Well, it's a story of almost half a century.
Okay, that's wonderful.
In Urdu verse, ये निस्फ सदी का किस्सा है, कोई पल दो पल की बात नहीं. And same here.
I guess we are standing close to that as well. कि ये निस्फ सदी का किस्सा है, पल दो पल की बात नहीं. But sir, you know, where Hajra actually pointed out that that you've been through some ups and downs as well.
Oh yes, sir.
So obviously, it's Basant season away in Pakistan, even though there's
a ban. While it's recalling me way back 1972 when I was just 11.
What happened, sir, then?
Sir, I am just flying kite at my house top, and suddenly I fell down to my neighbor's roof, and then a very high sound, does, and then I was terrified, and after a few moments my father came up, and he looking me very angrily and saying typical Punjabi, you know.
Yeah.
And I am looking my
father.
Yes. I am in a agony, and he is giving me so much
hard time.
Oh yeah, hard time. But he
picked
me up with the help of the others, and my leg from my thigh bone was broken totally, like
oh my God,
in this way. And at that time I was in class 5.
Okay.
And in our town called Kunja, Gujarat, it's 6 miles away from Gujarat, near Sargodha Road.
Okay.
At that time, the medical facilities are not very good, you know.
But sir, the reason why I've asked you this question was that, when we talk about the love of, for the love you have for writing books and poetry, was somewhere that you figured it out while you were on bed for 10 years.
Of course.
Somebody was unable to go use the toilet himself.
Yes, of course.
Not being able to have food by themselves as well, and totally dependent. So how did you figure it out that, okay, this is one thing that I would want to do now?
And how did you negotiate the new identity that you have to put on? Because obviously that was a very radical change in your life, right?
Well, one thing I tell you, I believe in a little bit stars.
Okay.
My date of birth is 18th February, day after tomorrow.
Okay.
And the Aquarius are a very...
Assalamu alaikum, sir. 30th January, sir.
That's a really honor for me.
Yeah.
Because the Aquarius are very genius people.
Thank you.
And they...
I keep on telling Hajra, she never agrees.
Yes, and they live in the future.
True.
They never live
in the moment.
Present.
It's challenging for us.
Yes.
It's challenging for us.
When we saw something, a new things, we think, oh, we also
we want to do that.
Yes, and do that, and we look at it and we go for it.
True.
This is not for new for us.
True.
And this is the main courage.
So, and this is the main reason why you started writing as well.
Yes, of course.
So then there were things that you were thinking are going to happen in the near future,
yes,
and you picked up your pen and you started to write.
But not only for this, but for a someone young.
Who might be going through the same thing,
Yes.
right?
Can you share
Love one.
Sir,
Yes.
can you share a few couplets as well from that poetry that you wrote when you were on bed?
Oh
Do you- do
yes,
you-
oh yes, I will.
Sure.
यूं छोड़ के जाने का इरादा तो नहीं था, वो मेरा रहेगा, कोई वादा तो नहीं था।
Wow.
और एक उम्र लगी जिसमें समाते हुए मुझको, जब आंख खुली ख्वाब से ज्यादा तो नहीं था।
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. But sir, like I talked about it before, you have wonderful 5 books to your name.
Yep.
So would you mind explaining what are the themes and particularly sub-themes that you
And
like
if you
to
can
talk
show the
about
books
it?
to our viewers as well.
Oh yes, of course. It's a really honor for me.
Because someone who is an avid
One,
book
this is my very first book.
okay.
Wow.
The name is
Bahayasi.
एक बाहयासी लड़की,
लड़की.
but my friends are saying some other words.
Yeah, got that.
Why is there a picture of man over it, right?
Well,
I think
it's my passion.
Yeah.
I want to. At that time, you know, everybody wants to
Be famous.
famous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
So my friend says, why you are written Bahayar and you are, it's your portrait.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I say no, because I am the
You want to
writer
own
of this book.
yourself, yes.
Exactly.
This
Wow.
is my very first book,
Baah hai aasi ladki.
Bahayasi Ladki.
And it talks about-
what does it talk about? What are the main
This
themes?
is a
This is a short story or,
I
or
don't
is it
know,
poetry?
it's a poetry
Okay.
in Urdu,
Right.
and it's a teenage poetry.
Okay.
When I was a very early at the bed with love someone.
Sir, anything from this book, sir, please.
Okay, can I use
Sure,
my
sure, sure, sir,
glasses?
sure, sir, sure. Whatever you feel like using, sir, no problem. You are our guest.
जिंदगी में इस कदर महरूमियाँ हमको मिली, सामने होते हुए भी दूरियां हमको मिली,
Wow.
और बेगुनाही का मेरी बनता नहीं कोई गवाह. That's the scenario of my bed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
बेगुनाही का मेरी,
पतंग ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਦ ਉਡਾ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਵੈਸੇ
हाँ की करा फिर उसके ते
बेगुनाही का मेरी मिलता नहीं
बनता नहीं कोई गवाह, सबके चेहरों पे लिखी मजबूरियां हमको
ओए
मिली,
ओए ओए ओए
और इतनी जल्दी टूट सकते तो नहीं ये वास्ते, जिस तरह टूटी हुई कुछ चूड़ियां हमको मिली,
वाह
और प्यार करने का चलो कुछ तो सिला हमको मिला, जिस तरफ भी हम गए रुसवाइयां हमको मिली.
वाह 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 सर वाह 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 so beautiful
And
so
the
beautiful
last is the most fascinating. खुशशनासी करने बैठे हम जो अपनी ज़ात की, अपने ही किरदार में कमज़ोरियां हमको मिली.
वाह 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 सर
And this
वाह
is the
वाह,
life
वाह
which I carry since 72.
sir did you try to share it with her as well when you wrote the
Oh
book
yes, of course, why not?
really then,
And how was
then
the
what was the
reaction?
response that you got
What, you know, at that time the girls are very, very shy, and
Yeah.
not the time is now.
True.
Now the boys are very shy.
Sir, it's still debatable yeah yeah but sir now moving on to your other book as
Oh
well
yes, my second book is
the poetry book
no,
Okay.
it's a Raz-e-Zindagi.
okay so
It's about
Fascinating name.
columns of my national Urdu newspaper
Mashallah.
about ethics.
okay so sir
Right.
if you are to pick up the best ethic ever
Yeah.
you know which the human beings might have practiced quite a lot which one do you think is that ethic which
And
any one of it
What are the advice that
Yeah.
that you have accumulated in your experience you would like to dole
ये जो
out to
राज
the
है
people?
थोड़ा सा अयां कर दें
Sir, just in one words, I also actually my teachers in ethics are Mumtaz Mufti Sahab,
माशाल्लाह
Ashfaq Baba Ji,
माशाल्लाह
Wasif Ali Wasif Sahab,
वाह
Sarfraz Shah Sahab,
क्या बात है सर
and that's why I just learned from them, be patient, and one line which I
But sir, how do you practice patience when there are so many worries and troubles around you, and when you feel, I mean, sabr is not easy, right? But it is the virtue that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I am with the one who are patient and who practice sabr, right? So in your life experiences, when things are so down, they're so gloomy, there's so many challenges, how do you practice the patience? And
But
how
that's the level playing field for sabr.
I have got the chilla of 10 years of patience
yes, yes,
and the tolerance in my body,
because sir, that would
in
be
my soul.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why I think, otherwise maybe I will be totally a different person if I will not
Or might
ridden
not have
on bed.
experienced it. Yeah, true.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows
Alhamdulillah.
if I will give him a free hand, maybe he will go to the negative side of the life.
Okay.
right.
He just handbrake me,
True.
stop me from the other way.
For you to be at a better place, look where we are now, alhamdulillah, you're a
Alhamdulillah,
writer, you're a poet, you're inspiring people, you're sharing with people, you know,
And
your
Allah's
experiences.
wisdom is always better than our comprehension,
yes.
because we really don't
You know,
understand.
yes.
Yes, yes.
One plan is a person's plan, and one plan is the
और होता
Allah's
वही है
plan.
जो अल्लाह
And,
चाहता है.
और वही अच्छा
Allah's
है
plan
जो अल्लाह
always
का-
prevails over our human planning. So, sir, you have another book with your name, Ishq Atish, right? So,
This-
you
Ishq
are
Atish.
invested a
Agi,
lot
Agi,
on the
sir.
romance, on the poetry. So would you like explaining to us what
No,
is exactly?
this is not poetry. This is a short story book.
Okay, that's
Wow.
wonderful.
We called it Afsana, you know.
Yep.
Afsana
And
Nigari.
in Afsana, my role model is Saadat Hassan Manto.
Wow.
Wonderful,
Wow.
wonderful.
And that's why, because when I was ridden on 10th year at bed, I read literature also.
Okay,
MashaAllah.
that's
The
wonderful.
Urdu literature, English literature, and I personally like.
But sir, why Manto Sahab? Because whenever we are to kind of talk about Manto Sahab always brought the harsh realities of the society in front of people, and the people of those times never liked it or appreciated it, because to
Those were
them,
harsh
you know, I
truths,
think we were a little, you know, I think that the right word was, were a little pessimistic, you know, as a society as well.
But not
Nobody
very
would love to talk
receptive
about
about
it.
the
Yes.
truth.
No, I just clear this point. Manto write a real story of the human beings, the inner soul,
Okay.
which you and I never write boldly.
कि हकीकत की है?
की हकीकत की है कि दो कुड़ियां जा रही हैं ना, तीन कुड़ियां.
क्या ना देना उनसे?
So somebody says, yaar,
Yeah.
this is one of is a very good
जी जी
in their heart.
जी बिल्कुल. दिल
Okay?
इच ख्याल आंदा है.
But Manto write it.
Exactly. Yeah. So a person, what you know, I might not feel like saying. Manto would always say that as well.
Of course.
So it's good that you've taken inspiration from them. But when we talk about Ishq Atish,
Yeah.
you know, anything that you would love to share from Ishq Atish, you know, anything that
And
you,
how
which
would you
kind
like
of
to compare and contrast the eras of the literature when you were reading and now when the literature is being produced? What do you see the difference in the quality?
Well, you know, it's the process of time,
Or evolution, maybe?
evolution. My generation is a bridge between old
conservative
people,
values,
conservative
yes.
values,
and the
and
liberals.
Modern values.
the liberal modern. Your generation are
Digital
now,
values, I would
yes,
say.
of course, a computer plus mobile
Yeah.
and blah blah blah.
Exactly. But thank you so much, Amin Saab, for being
Thank
with
you
us.
so much.
Right.
Lovely to be in conversation.
you
But there
so
was
much.
this one couplet that you share, you know, before we came on air. You know,
Yeah.
even our producer loved it.
Right.
If you can please do it for our audiences as well, we'll be grateful.
Well, in Urdu or Punjabi?
Punjabi, sir.
Sir, Punjabi ho gaya ji. Well, my Punjabi book is Aklapa,
Alhamdulillah.
and it's about a little bit of Sufism, and
MashaAllah.
that's why.
The divine love, yes.
Well, somehow, actually, I will present you.
Sure,
ਚਾਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਧਾਣੀ ਔਖੀ, ਦਿਲ ਦੀ ਮੈਲ ਮੁਕਾਣੀ ਔਖੀ,
Wow.
ਅੱਖੀਂ ਪੇਚੇ ਲੜ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਲਾ ਕੇ ਤੋੜ ਨਿਭਾਣੀ ਔਖੀ.
Wow, wow, wow.
And two more couplets.
Sir.
ਮੇਰੇ ਲੂਲੂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੀਕਾਂ ਨੇ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੀਆਂ ਯਾਰ ਉਡੀਕਾਂ ਨੇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਵੈਰੀ ਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਸਕੇ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਰਲ ਸ਼ਰੀਕਾਂ ਨੇ।
Hi, 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 hi. Kya baat, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir,
so much.
for being with us.
Thank you
Lovely
so
to be in
much.
conversation with you. More power to you for everybody who's out there, since we are running short of time, ladies and gentlemen. We all artists, we come from very different walks of life, and the core motive for us is to make sure that we bring you something. Our responsibility is to bring you awareness. Their responsibility is to bring you love, peace, and for all of that is missing in your life. So please make sure that we continue to appreciate our artists and people who contribute to our daily routines and our daily lives in a way where it gets unnoticed at times as well. So let's promise each other that we're going to be full of appreciation for each and every person who's contributing to our lives. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. Remember us all in your prayers, because it's Jummah today. So until next time, 1, 2, 3, it's a good morning. Thank you so much.